So, what I know about Graves' disease, or there's hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism, and there's kind of a spectrum there, is
Hmm.
that everything that has to do with your hormones can be fixed with a low carb lifestyle. And I would 100% suggest it. You have to have the motivation and the want to get better and to feel better, and you just have to have this mindset like, there's you now with these thyroid problems and you're having the symptoms, whether you're having a hard time with the hyperthyroid or hypothyroid because everything's out of balance. You can look at yourself on the other side and be like, I did this. This is me before me being sick, and this is me now. And that feeling is just, it's amazing. And like the feeling of being proud of yourself and also the feeling of not having all the symptoms is just, is perfect.
Hey there, I'm Adam with Carnivore today. We have an incredibly inspiring story that you won't want to miss. We're diving into Ella Ludwig's journey, a young music enthusiast who faced some unexpected challenges. What did she discover on her path? Stay tuned to find out. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on captivating stories like this one. Let's jump right in. So today we're with Ella Ludwig, and appreciate you being here with us today, Ella. Sharing your story. Appreciate you for your time. And so, before we jump into the meat of everything, can you share a little bit about yourself with the viewers?
Yeah. So, my name is Ella. I'm 16. I've been carnivore for almost 4 years now, and it's been going great. I really like music. I'm super into music, so that's kind of my whole life. Guitar, wrong side. Guitar, this thing is
Awesome.
backwards. And yeah, so I am really into health and nutrition and how it kind of saved my life, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So, I understand that you've had some challenges in your life in terms of a condition known as Graves' disease. Can you
Mhm.
kind of fill us in on a little bit of that, like maybe when you noticed that and some of the challenges with that?
Yeah. So, I think it was in the summer of 2018, I started having really bad panic attacks. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just anxiety, and I thought that it was just like something that ran in our family. My heart would start beating really fast, and I would feel like my chest was caving in, and then my throat would kind of like start to like pulsate, and I didn't know what was going on. And so the first time it happened, I asked someone, I was like, "Hey, can kids have heart attacks?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Great, that helps a lot."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I went to the not I went to the urgent care, and
Hmm.
they're like, "Fine, you just had a panic attack." And I'm like, "Okay, that's new." So I had to figure out what that was. And then I was always like really tired, and my eyes were, I was having a hard time, like, blinking a lot because my eyes were, like, puffy and swollen, and they
Hmm.
felt like pressure on them. And we learned at the end of 2018 that I had hyperthyroidism, and my T4, T3 levels, I am not good with what they're called and what the numbers are, but, I know that my Graves levels were high. My It showed that I had hyperthyroidism, and so they told me to take methimazole, and, I hadn't heard of carnivore yet, but when I was, talking to my mom about it, she had just learned about this, like, low-carb keto thing,
Hmm.
and she's like, "So," because we looked up the risks on methimazole, and then she was like, she didn't want to risk, like, kidney failure for me as a 14-year-old,
Sure.
or forget how old I was, but, so she was like, "So you can take," she was making it my choice, right? She's like, "You can take the medicine, or we can try this diet and or lifestyle."
Right.
And I was like, "I think I'll try the diet or lifestyle." I'm still trying to get rid of that word.
Right?
Yeah,
That's how people know it, so it's okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to get the habit in there. And then so I tried it out and continuously I mentioned in a previous video I was talking to Justin from Tame Type 1 and I said that the labs I got every 3 months. Turns out I was wrong. I got them every 2 weeks. So every
Oh,
2
wow.
yeah, every 2 weeks I was going in and getting my labs done. And continuously the levels of my thyroid that showed that I had hyperthyroidism went down lower and lower, and you can see the notes on my paperwork says from my doctor, like, "Hey, keep it up, keep taking the medicine. You're doing great. Like, this is working for you." And little did they know it's still unopened.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah.
Wow. At that time, you said you started, what was it, a keto diet?
Yeah, so we were keto at first.
Mhm.
We we weren't like going to stores and buying things that said keto on it because we kind of knew that some of that stuff isn't as truthful as we wish that it was.
Right.
Uh, I was just eating a lot more meat than usually I would. I was still having salads. I cut out anything that messed with my blood sugar. And I noticed that I'm so glad I did too, because I used to drink a lot of soda, and I noticed anytime I had soda, I would have we call them Graves attacks instead of panic attacks. I would have a Graves attack, and then my chest would start like feeling weird, and so I cut out the soda. We went low carb, um, and yeah, I just wasn't having fruit or grains, but I was still having vegetables and stuff. And oh my gosh, thank goodness, totally changed my life.
That's awesome. So how long so I guess I should ask, is the Graves is it gone now?
So I my levels are normal and my symptoms
Mhm.
are fine. So I have 0 grave symptoms, my levels are normal. Whenever because a couple times I have, went back to eating carbs for, like, a short period of time for some reason, and the symptoms will come back. I haven't, like, tested, but I'm sure the levels went up as well. So, yeah, I just know that if I keep my carbs down, the levels go down, they stay down, and I
That's
feel good.
really that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really great news. So how long do you think it took to get to the point where you really didn't feel any symptoms anymore unless you were eating something that was kind of off plan?
Um, I started keto around the end of 2018 and I think it took like maybe a month or a month and a half because I wasn't perfect. So, I'm still kind of getting into the flow of
Right.
things. And I just noticed like even like the first week after I felt there was something different about like my my presence, like, I was here and I was ready, and I wasn't tired, and I didn't feel like I was floating, like, there was just this feeling of, like, floating in space, like, not even, like, being here for anything, and as soon as I started low carb, all of a sudden, I felt like I wanted to do things, and, like, I wanted to just go and run around, and it felt great, and then collectively, like, I just kept feeling better and better, and my everything just got so much better. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can imagine. You probably felt somewhat suppressed from normal life, feeling that way for so long.
Mhm.
And then you finally had some relief and it's like, let's go.
Yeah, it's like natural caffeine with no
Yeah.
coffee.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, so during that time, was there any issues that you maybe had in your relationships with friends and things like that where Graves was, affecting those relationships?
Yeah, I mean, I before I was low carb, I would try and go hang out with my friends. But I started getting anxious about like going and planning stuff because there had been a couple times where the Graves attacks would come on when I'm like with people.
Mhm.
And how was embarrassing. Being like, okay, I have to stop what we're doing. I have to stop us having fun so that everyone can know that I think like I'm dying. Like it just felt like every time I would have a Graves attack, I'm like, this is it. And it was just a horrible feeling. And so whenever I was with friends, I was like and really nervous that that was gonna happen. And I didn't know how to fix it yet. I didn't know about low carbs. So I kind of stopped hang out with my friends as much as I would have liked to. And after low carb happened, I kind of got that feeling of, like I don't know if it happens to everyone, but I think it happens to most people where, you kind of feel like outcasted, like you can't have the stuff that your friends are having, and they're like, "Hey, you should try this thing." And I'm like, "I'm trying to be healthy."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think Michaela Peterson said something about that when somebody asked if, the carnivore diet is restrictive or the lion diet is restrictive. And she said, no, I think, having all these autoimmune conditions and things like that is actually restrictive. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like it. I like it when it's put that way, and it's
Hmm.
so funny because we recently made a grocery list, of things to eat on carnivore, and it's so long. The list is like this long, and I'm like, there's so many options. People don't understand that, there's elk, there's there's seafood, some people can have dairy, and that's there's just so much that you can have, and you can actually enjoy your food and know that you're fueling yourself instead
Hmm.
of feeling like eating food and being like, yummy. And then afterwards, being sick. 'Cause people are sick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely feel sick every time I eat off plan and have some kind of grains or whatever. It's like, oh, what did I do to myself?
Immediately. Like, it's so weird. You just feel it. Like, you can feel the difference. And it's crazy because that's your body telling you, like, hey, you know, I'm not supposed to be digesting this.
Right. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So would you say that ketogenic living has helped to restore relationships and things like that with your friends?
Yeah, I mean, I can hang out with them a lot more. I don't have the FOMO of the food
Hmm.
anymore. I mean, I people know it's so funny. It's like part of my personality now that people know that I eat this way. And they see me eating this way and I'm glad they do because they can see my energy levels without needing carbs. Um 'Cause, most people are like, "Oh, carbs for energy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't feel so great when I do that." And they can see that I'm, like, normal and I'm as fully functioning as a normal human should be.
Hmm.
And, I can just go out and eat with my friends and, do the low carb version, and I don't feel left out anymore at all because it's just normal for me, and I know what it's doing. It's like, I know what it's doing for me, and I know how I feel, and that's the most important thing is how I feel.
That's awesome. That's really great to hear too from somebody that is essentially just starting out their adult life. That's very mature, and it's good to know that that feeling is mutual across a great age span. So yeah, that's really awesome. So in in terms of your challenges with Graves' disease, so what would be your advice to somebody if they're looking for a solution to Graves' disease or symptoms with that or complications with that, and they're trying to fix themselves?
So, what I know about Graves' disease, or, there's hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism, and there's kind of a spectrum there, is
Hmm.
that everything that has to do with your hormones can be fixed with a low carb lifestyle. And I would 100% suggest it. You have to have the motivation and the want to get better and to feel better, and you just have to have this mindset like there's you now, with these thyroid problems and you're having the symptoms, whether you're, having a hard time with the hyperthyroid or hypothyroid, because everything's out of balance. You can look at yourself on the other side and be like, I did this. This is me before me being sick, and this is me now. And that feeling is just it's amazing, and, like, the feeling of being proud of yourself and also the feeling of not having all the symptoms is just is perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
very well put for sure.
thank you.
Uh, so let's dive into the next subject, which is other challenges that you've had in your life being so young, which is type 1 diabetes. Can you tell us a little bit about what living with type 1 diabetes prior to changing your diet was like? Adam here, popping in for a second. If you're curious about Ella's experience with type 1 diabetes, you won't want to miss part 2 of this series. I've linked it in the description below. See you there. Now back to the video. So you have a new YouTube channel, is that
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
What are your plans for that?
Um, I am planning on doing like what I eat in a day kind of videos.
Hmm.
My uncle is a photographer and videographer, and he's thinking of flying up here and kind of doing like like a 1 day vlog kind of thing. Like this is what it looks like as a carnivore, being type 1 diabetic, seeing all the stuff I do in a day, going shopping for carnivore groceries and all that kind of stuff. I want my channel to be kind of like a realistic view of just someone who is very normal and
Hmm.
also does a carnivore diet. Because it can be really scary feeling like you're different and feeling like this might be, you might be making the wrong choice. But I want people to know, like, I'm 16. I I still, my life is not all the way set. Don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know one thing for sure: carnivore gets really easy, and I want to show people how easy it can be. So that's basically what my channel is going to be about, just what I eat in a day, maybe some, recipes and stuff. And we'll see where it goes from there. If I get any other ideas, we'll definitely come up with some.
Awesome, awesome. That's really cool that your uncle's gonna come up and help with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet. So what's the name of your YouTube channel?
I don't know if it shows in your screen, but it's Ella's egg yolks.
There you go.
A
Very
name to
cool.
come up with. I was trying to think of something like kind of like steak and butter gal, but I was like, huh. Ella's egg yolks. It makes sense. It just fits.
I love it. That's a
Yeah.
great name for sure. Awesome. So, Ella, I really appreciate sitting down and chatting with you today and getting to learn more and getting this message out, especially about type 1 diabetes and your challenges with Graves' disease. And I really truly appreciate you getting the message out there, and because it seems like there's not as much information out there for type 1 diabetes for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody always talks about type 2 and how it can be reversed and things like that, but type 1 always seems to be a little bit more of a challenge for people,
Hmm.
and there doesn't seem to be as many answers. So I really truly appreciate you sitting down to lay it out for everybody, like, hey, this is what you need to do in order to feel good.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I love doing these. Make me feel important.
absolutely. Awesome. Well, with that, we'll end the video here, and thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you. That was truly an eye-opening story from Ella. If her journey resonated with you or inspired you in any way, please give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more incredible stories. Your support means the world to me. Thanks for being with us, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.